Hey, hello everybody. I am so excited to be joining you today. What an amazing Wednesday, I must break you, we have going on today. This is actually very, very exciting. So, my good friend and co host of Nerd, Dre Alvarez, loves the character Impulse so much that we actually did a episode of Nerd about the character. Bart Allen, you might know him as like a Kid Flash standout kind of a thing. And so this actually is a box that features, hey, Steven, that actually features the rookie card, the rookie appearance of Bart Allen himself, Impulse. And so we're going to celebrate. We're going to try to find Dre a good Impulse card. Now, this is actually double wrapped, you'll notice. So we have wrap, but we also still have the SkyBox wrapping on here. Not sure about the scenario on this, but what I do love is that this has, this kind of brings me back to, my 2004 to 2006-ish era of working at Toys R Us. This, I believe, is a Toys R Us, that orange vibe that we're getting here. We're gonna use that on the stickers. Tends to be from Toys R Us. I feel bad removing that price sticker. It's so great. But of course, we have this now. This is a 36-pack box, and of course, I forgot to bring a trash bag with me. God damn it. Hey, also let me know what your favorite teenage superhero is in the comment. So Jay, I feel this box of cards got way more abuse expected when I sent it to you, Jeff. No abuse, no abuse. We kept it nice. Did you wrap this, Dre? Ground box. It's only Skybox. Yeah, it's actually it's only technically Skybox if you open it in the sky region of Earth. All right, there we go. Okay, so talk. Eric, it's good to see you. By the way, Eric and Logan both. We got some wonderful cracked alums here. Got to get a razor blade. Well, normally I have a knife. But you'll be surprised to know that I forgot it and then didn't realize it's been a busy morning. So I didn't fully realize. Love that we managed to get these gorgeous Lobo cards. Yeah, so Logan's like, Eric, yeah. So we got some cracked alumnus in the chat. So let everybody know how much you like them. So Jeff's knife is in Canada. So these agreed. So these are actually from 1994. So this is actually the first set that's going to pull Impulse in a big way. But something else that Dre sent, which I'm going to show you guys on the Friday, mailbag. Now, one of the big concerns I'm having already is that we are looking at potentially some slightly sticky cards. Doesn't look like. Well, we got some mild paper loss on that. So what I'm going to do is, as I am pulling these cards out, Arsenal, I'll make sure. Damn, that demon is good. That looks like a Dave DeVries right there. Who painted this? Tristan Shane. I'll make sure that when I have these cards ready to go, that nothing I sent out is going to have paper loss on it. So anything with paper loss we'll put in a specific space. So Virus and Pulse. Now, of course, oh yeah, the thumbnail. In case you guys haven't noticed, I've been purposely making very uncomfortable thumbnails for the videos, and I'm gonna keep going because I feel like playing out to an algorithm is stupid. Frill docs. And so, we got a nice Azrael Batman though. That's a good one. So they're sticky. The cards are a little sticky, which happens from cards of this era. A lot of times the 94 era, like the mid-90s, they had this gloss that they would put on cards where if you didn't put it in a perfectly moderately temperate, a nice Faust there. That's a cool one, though. If you didn't have it in like perfect conditions, the cards tended to like stick together a little bit. So these were not overly stored in heat, but for example, whenever I get cards like this, like I have a box of Marvel versus DC, and I don't keep them in my studio because my studio heats up. And I don't want those cards melting together. We have a nice Tony Harris, Kyle Rayner Green Lantern, which I really like. Tony Harris. I just called Don Cheadle LG Rhythm. Stupid. Okay, but this is also a good example of what was wrong with the 90s. In case you're wondering. And of course we see some paper loss on that card, but this is Raven. That's how they were doing Raven back then. Dr. Fate, beautiful. We love to see that. Nice, solid Black Canary. So these kind of, so the SkyBox Premiere Series kind of has like Marvel Masterpieces energy. Yeah, it sure is a choice, El Celdo. A gorgeous Dave Dorman Catwoman. Love that Jim Ballant design of Catwoman. Dave Dorman, somebody whose work I respect, but whose views maybe slightly less so. Alan Scott, Green Lantern by Tony Harris. Nice Huntress. What do we got here? Captain Atom. That's a Julie Bell if I've ever seen one, huh? This Doomsday is pretty sick. And a nice Robin that we can put aside for Dre, but unfortunately it has some paper loss on it, which we can see also on the back here. So, yeah. Yeah, that's a good Catwoman. It is a good Catwoman. So we're going to try to do our best to make sure we can... How many artists in this set do I have actual art from? I think it might just be Tony Harris. Yeah, look, these are Phantom Stranger, Superboy, Farron Colt. Like, who the hell is this character? I don't know half of these guys. That's how like bad this era was. That Guardian looks great. That's a good looking piece. Yeah, it's not. And you know, I mean, I said that Guardian looks great, and of course I turn it over and it's done by Steve Rude. So yeah, of course it's going to look great. It's Steve Rude, for God's sake. This is actually going to be, it's going to take, yeah, it's not bad. It's not a bad response. But it certainly is one of those things where, like, you know, the packs are a little bricked, right? But this is the Eradicator when they stopped making him look like Clark Kent. Aquaman looks good. And this is before he lost his friggin' arm or his hand. Hector Gomez did that one. It's gorgeous. The Mirage is good. I like this. This is one I would have hated as a kid, but I like now. And that's Dave Dorman. This doesn't look really like Dave Dorman. Dave Dorman's really well known for, like, he would do a lot of painted alien stuff. And, that Orion's sick as hell, though. That's cool, that New Gods Orion. Stephanie would say, how rude. Stephanie Tanner, who I know. I know her. I've done her show. I've done her live show. Technocrat. That's another one of those. Nice Lobo. Yeah, that Jodie Sweetin's another one of those, like, Instagram connections that I'll probably never get back. It's damage. The Supergirl's damage. It looks like most of our cards are going to have a little bit of damage on here. Oh, we got a Bane. Let's hope that holds up. We got Two-Face. Bane looks all right. Dave Dorman. Two-Face by Dave Dorman. Sinestro by Tony Harris. So it looks like they're getting... So it looks like each character is getting, like, a division. So, like, Green Lantern stuff, it looks like Tony Harris is getting Bolton, Geoforce, and Mongol. And I'm trying to angle these out so I can see if they have... Yeah, that there was definitely that, like, the Power Girl, the 80s version of Power Girl before they went full on, you know, aggressive boob window, like making it part of it. This might be one of my least favorite versions of Poison Ivy. They make her look like you met her at, like, a dive bar, if that makes sense. And I'm thinking this is probably Dorman. It's John Higgins, so he's not all the bad thing. We got Ken Napzok up in here. We got a good-looking Changeling by Lago, by the way. We have Mullet Superman. See if we have any. And by the way, Ken Napzog saying these are weird looking baseball players, but here for it. Definitely check out. That's a good Hawkman too. And Saturn Girl. Nice. Definitely check out the sports card ASMR page that Ken does. It is one of my. It is one of my favorites. We have this nice Doomsday, but yeah, look, they're like all bricked. Captain Adam, that's a beautiful, like Julie Bell paintings, just really great. Oh, we got a Robin without that front paper loss, which is nice. Anything on the back looks pretty okay. You'd probably get a 9 on this one. Technocrat and Wild, the Lobo, and then this Black Adam. So we have that. Ken, that sports card ASMR is so fun. It's so funny. I really, really love it. It's great. So we have a Mongol. These fucking cards. And this is just kind of like the gamble that you take with any cards from the 90s, the mid 90s. Because early 90s, they didn't go so far on this gloss. So like when you open like Marvel cards, there we go. We have the Impulse card. I'm not seeing paper loss on the front, but the back might be a different story. I see maybe a little bit right there. You see it? But that's pretty cool looking. But that being said, we got one Impulse rookie card for Dre. Racing the Mask car. Yeah, right? Now let's hope we can get an Impulse that isn't paper loss. Happens to 1 in 5 men. Consult your doctor. Renew your HIMS subscription or whatever. Dave Dorman doing kind of a boring Joker, but this Maxima. Lex Luthor 2. That's interesting. Just sitting there. Joker, let's hope we can recover a Joker. I know these actually tend to be pretty valuable when they grade high, primarily because it's such a tough set. We have a Max Mercury. This is, of course, the mentor of Impulse. So, and that Blaze looks all right. Yeah. Oh, you're saying the Dorman was it with the Joker? What, because of the Joker fish? I don't know. It's kind of boring looking. Like, it's fine, but it's not doing anything particularly exciting for me. You know, like it's not. I don't know. The more realistic, like I find Alex Ross to be very boring, even though I know how talented he is. I'm just like, it doesn't excite me to see what Doctor Doom would look like as a guy in a Doctor Doom mask, because I don't know, we've seen that in a lot of movies already. So like, I'm not as Hawk Woman here. I'm not as sort of invested. Virus and Pulse. Yeah, these things. This demon card though. God, that's good. I love that demon card. Doesn't feel anything anymore. No, I mean, I love, like, I think a lot of the artists that I didn't really appreciate when I was younger, nice Crimson Fox, I've really come around to. You know, like guys like, see that paper loss on the corner. Steel. Guy, you know, your Jay Lees and your Sam Keats, like people who were like doing risky, beautiful artwork. Again, this Dead Man's so good. I hate the paper loss on it. And then this Wonder Woman's gorgeous too. But you can really hear the damage being done to these cards as they're being pulled apart, right? I think that's actually not paper loss. I think the Wonder Woman's the back is really pulled up. Big steel card. Yeah, but it's just like, I don't know, like I'm not supposed to be particularly interested in like non-risky art anymore. Like I've already seen Alex Ross. I've seen Marvels. You know, like I've read. This Raven is so weird. You know, oh, this fucking rough, these things. El Celdo saying needs a Shaq nerd season, movies, music, endorsements. No kidding, right? We have our first Chromium card, and it's a Doomsday or an Etch card, of course. And we have another one, Jesus. This one seems good. The Flash one seems good. No. Look at that. They both are damaged. So nothing recoupable in those. Papa Jones. Nightwing. Oracle. I mean, I like these cards. I mean, I think this Nightwing's not that great. I mean, it's better than I could do, so. I like this Oracle a lot, though. It's Dave Dorman. Catwoman. Hal Jordan as Parallax. I like that. Glorith and Mordry and a Paper Lost Shazam. So let's see. Yeah, kind of. I mean, the thing is, if like the Flash or Doomsday or whatever, you know, if you want these cards, patreon.com/Jeff May. Sign up for the rookie card tier. You got a couple days before that tier closes up for the month, so you can get in on this. Good Superboy. This one, that's pretty good. I did check the Flash and Doomsday and flipped them over. So this, I don't know if I showed the Superman. So it's a Superman and Doomsday flip, and then a Flash and Reverse Flash flip. So again, not bad, but like this one would come back most likely a 9 or an 8, primarily because of the corners. And this one, probably an 8 because of the edges there. I got 2 1 in 36 cards. Wonder if they got stuck together somewhere in collation. I think it's bad collation. So there's supposed to be 1 per pack. Guy Gardner, Warrior by Tony Harris. And then a Atom. And again, kind of damaged up. Yeah, it's a 1 per box. Sorry. Yeah, the flip box card, not a bad idea. The flip card. Aquaman looking good. This Orion came off real clean. Nothing sticky there. Triumph. Nothing sticky there. Then this Mirage. It's like I'm prying these things apart. Damn it. Of course, the Batman we get is damaged to shit. Look at all that paper loss. Thought, you know, you're not getting a, that's not even worth grading. Even if you were like, I want to protect the card, protect a different card. Yeah, so like they're beautiful. Again, yeah, so Dre, you're making a good point here. Like these are beautiful cards, but like from a collector's standpoint, and like, this Flash looks interesting. His face looks real bad, like evil. Like, why does the Flash look evil? I think Dre's saying I should ask my patrons how they feel about getting damaged cards. And I'm going to tell you, Dre, that everybody is going to say they don't care, they don't mind, it's fine. Because everybody on there seems to really want to not cut. We like that nice Cyborg Superman. Now just goes by Cyborg. And unfortunately, dinged up. They'll be like, no, it's no problem. It's fine. But it is a problem. You know, Metamorpho. Nice. Yeah, I think comics are a little bit different because comics aren't strictly a display item. You know, comics are like readable. So like there's something to be said. And honestly, like if you collect cards, right? And you have a card that you've had like in your wallet your whole life, that's important. I get that. Or like a comic that you've been reading your whole life or whatever. But the reality of it is with card stuff, like they are designed to be art. And so when the art itself is damaged, although, man, please don't be ripped. All right, this one's good because, man, getting a Steve Rude Guardian here. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, saying, you know, cool cards versus collectible cards. But like, see anything like this, Phantom Stranger, there's no way not to see the paper loss either, right? This Two-Face looks all right, though. But the Sinestro, I bet the Sinestro is going to look rough. This Power Girl's good. This Two-Face didn't have anything sticking to the side. But let's see what happens when we do this. Oh. Surprisingly okay. Oh. Yeah, right there. But also, like, see, the other part of that, too, is that in this process, if you look, I have two piles. I have a junk pile of damaged cards that I can just not worry about. And like, this will be the stack that I put when I put the packages together that I'm going to pick from. This ugly-ass Poison Ivy. This good version of an ugly-ass Changeling. The Saturn Girl, no damage. All right. For all you fans of the, like, this Hawkman looks cool. I like this. I wish he didn't have all that paper loss on his crotch. And it's also like, you can't really get too mad because, like, how are people going to know that a 30-year-old box of cards that was stored in a warm place by accident is going to be frustrating, right? Beetle, Blue Beetle, and Booster Gold. What a weird version of Booster Gold. The 90s were a real dark time, man. So, yeah. We can be fine with that, but look, it's, I mean, these are bricked. So, let's see what we got here. See if there's any salvageable piece, like Cosmic Boy, nothing salvageable. This Eclipso looks good as hell, though. I mean, paper loss-wise, no, it's just a cool-looking... That's Duncan Fegretto. Yeah, that explains it. Actually, you know what? The paper loss isn't too bad. I'm going to put him aside just because I love Duncan Fegretto. Vandal Savage, paper loss to shit. Same thing with Alan Scott. Say Skeletor on the Eclipso. Geoforce. We have a nice Aquaman F2. This one's actually... Oh. Look at this. Not a salvageable insert in the bunch, huh? What's weird about that, too, the Aquaman, is there's no reason for it to have that. This Azrael Batman. Oh, nope. The back looks like shit. This Dark Side again looks like shit. There was no reason, because this was on the Batman. This was on this Batman thing. So, like, literally the damage came from being just attached to the Azrael stamp, but there's no, like, metal loss here. I wonder if we could, like, kind of clear that off with, like, a microfiber towel or something. Yeah. The brick sounds are almost like ASMR. Yeah, you're not wrong. This one didn't have as bad a sound, so maybe it's going to be not so bad. The Spectre. How do I pronounce that? Ra's al Ghul. That actually looks really good. But, of course, paper loss on the chest. So you're allowed to, like, clean your cards. You're not allowed to, like, trim your cards. If they find, like, a trace of, like, chemical treatment, then they'll disqualify the card. Ooh, we got a checklist. A damaged checklist. Logan saying that Raj is rad, but you should have done R-A''D. Logan, I'm a little upset at you for not saying that. Jeez, look at that edge. Just absolute garbage. Well, the good news is we did get an Impulse rookie card for Dre. The bad news is the only one that we've come across so far has had a little bit of paper loss on it. Not a good sign. It's like the cracking the knuckles of your... See, like this Deathstroke looks so good. And look. I know they didn't know better, but it is frustrating, like looking back at what we know now about cards like this, that they just kind of just threw like what it was essentially a glue lacquer on these cards without fully understanding what was going to happen. And since then, you know, and this actually happened, like Chrome cards back then oftentimes had pretty negative effects with like, they would like yellow out after a while, being sort of visible. That looked all right. This Batman seems minimally damaged, but of course, there's another fucking card attached to it. Pardon my... There we go. Just wanted to make sure we could damage a Batman card, you know? Just in case people liked Batman, I wanted to make sure that they wouldn't get anything good. It has, so really curious about how hard to not brick since the cards were double sealed. It doesn't really have anything to do with the sealing. It's literally just how they were stored in the heat. This gloss, you see how it's so shiny here? This is shit. This is like poison for trading cards. Pardon my phrasing, but like in the 90s, they basically sprayed these cards with what essentially amounts to like heat reactive glue. So like that's why every time you pull a card apart, you're going to see this stuff, right? And you're going to see all these white flecks all over them, right? Like this Metamorpho, right? Okay, but now you have to compete with the glue on glue feeling here. Now that sound means that there's most likely paper loss. And so take a look right here. This is all the other card being stuck to it. So what it was is it was hubris, desperation, and sort of a lack of understanding. And they did that. So they were like, well, nobody wants to buy. And they also misunderstood. The other part about it too is they misunderstood why people were getting out of collecting. Well, first and foremost, the collector's market just tanked in the 90s because they were so interested in telling you what was collectible and what wasn't collectible that they stopped worrying about what was good. And they just would try to sell you what was valuable. Yeah, no, this, I mean, it does really, this box does really encapsulate, you know, see, look at that. Just nice, big old chunky paper loss on this. It does encapsulate, and there's the equal, the hubris and the absolute stupidity. And of course, we can look at it from the future. Another Impulse with paper loss, Dre. There you go, bud. Which means we're going to have paper loss on this one. Actually, I don't see it. Looking at with Monday morning quarterback energy, we can say, oh, here were all the problems. Here were all the problems. But companies like Fleer, SkyBox and stuff, they didn't fully understand what reasons why things were failing. Right. And they weren't thinking about the oversaturation. They were like, no, we need higher quality cards. Right. Superman's damaged. And so, like, you know, a lot of the stuff that people say on their lists are like, I like Superman, I like Batman. And so when I get stuff like this and there's like no Supermans I can give away, no Batmans I can give away, it makes it really tough. Like, look, this is a whole pack. So a little frustrating, obviously, but we do have enough cards that didn't get destroyed. That Eclipso just looks so good, though. I think the Eclipso might be my favorite card in the set. Right? And that, of course, does make sense because Duncan Fegredo is unbelievable. Steven saying, was every Poison Ivy paired with a Changeling? Probably. Because that's another thing these companies didn't understand is that people got sick of opening the same pack over and over again. So instead of doing minimal work, right? Instead of doing like the minimum of like making good, unique card sets with good artwork, what they did was they were just like, people want gloss, they want fancy. And that's not at all what people were asking for. I mean, well, maybe at the time they were, but all right. Well, we at least managed to salvage the front of one of the Dead Mans with minimum paper loss. Kent Williams, good job on this one. So their collation is also not that great. So there's a lot to be said about the lessons that are being missed from the past. And you still see that today. Like, for example, we've done plenty of episodes of this show where I open Upper Deck and like there's all these different parallels, which are all really nice, like Upper Deck, you know, comics-based cards. And yet the cards are so friggin' damaged that I don't give a damn about how fancy the insert sets are if you can't actually use them, right? If you can't actually enjoy them without being destroyed. So this is just, I think, an example of like sort of the frustration of breaking, especially vintage stuff. It's actually why like opening cards from like 1991, you're actually going to do much better than opening cards from 1995. Even though the time period is different, the cards had much less of a destructibility to them. You know, like not everything was quality, but that's why like people definitely remember, you know, the original Marvel series. So we have another chromium kind of thing. Let's see if this doesn't get. Again, it just absolutely decimated by the. Although this one looks like it's actually been decimated by the stamping process because this was actually on the it wasn't on the card in there. I don't know, like good paintings. I wished that the quality of artwork matched the quality of cards here, if that makes sense. Like these cards are sticky. Like I'm like I don't know how to like. They're sort of like touching like rubber or something like that, which is a good way to remind yourself of like, you know, this stuff is weird. This is our last pack going here. Not exactly the best in regards to quality of stuff, but Dre did send a much higher quality pack of cards or a box of cards that we're going to open in the future. And this Lex Luthor. This one actually, this last pack somehow managed to survive a lot of the damage. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it is what it is. So this is our box. Now take a look what we got here. This is our unusable pile. So this right here, all of these cards are just junk. This, however, is more than enough for me to distribute to patrons at patreon.com/JeffMay. Right? So Brita says, I totally disagree. Almost all my Garbage Pail Kids are pretty trashed, and I like them. I like that I don't have to worry about wrecking them. No, that's a very unique way of viewing it too, Burrito, of like, yeah, you know, I have a couple trash cards, but most people in the collectors, and especially people that I'm sending stuff to, like while y'all are super cool, I don't want to send low quality stuff. I don't want to send damaged goods to people. It doesn't make me feel good. Yeah. So here's what we got. I mean, we have a lot of usable stuff in here. Good characters, good paintings, stuff like that. Um, I don't even see necessarily the salvageability of, a lot of these. This is a good reminder, Dre specifically, that if you are in the market for, in these as well, if you're in the market for an impulse rookie card, you might want to buy it loose as opposed to trying to pack search for them, because I think this is just, it's not going to be good. The damage card being undamaged was pretty funny. Absolutely. So that being said, folks, we got this is done. Mailbag is still scheduled for 3:00. I got some pretty cool stuff, including a package that it was a gift from our good friend Oliver. And the enchanted wandering unpierced left nipple cider served at room temperature, blah blah blah. He gave me something at mint on card that I had in the other room and forgot to do for the mailbag. I also have some cool card stuff to show you guys for the mailbag on Friday. That should be at 3:00. So come on, check that out. Make sure you're subscribed, the whole thing. You guys have been really, really great. Love to see you here. Thank you so much. I have about 20 minutes before I have to go record another podcast. So love you all. Have a beautiful day. Like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Wonderful. Bye.